What's going on YouTube? Today is the big day. I'm going to use my wood lathe for the first time with actual wood on it and try not to die or mess up my eyes, lose my fingers, or kill anybody or burn down the house. Today is December 25th, Christmas 2018. So I've used my new camera. I've learned how to use the editing software, and now I'm going to try to film myself not dying using a wood lathe that I have no experience with. Should be an interesting time. So, hey, we'll see what happens. Alright, so, gonna try that out. Let's get the video started. Alright, so we're about to get the lathe started. Now, earlier I said that I was going to use a piece of styrofoam to practice on. However, I figured out that is not a good idea. Can't see. Screw it. Keep that on. Anyway. The bit that this goes onto has to feed into the styrofoam. So once this thing gets turning, this is going to turn off and fly off the lathe. So this is not going to work. So I have to take this piece of wood and drill it into this piece so it holds on. So basically, take my mallet, punch it in there, and then set it up on the lathe. So it looks like we're just going to go right out of the gate with wood, because this is not going to be copacetic to life once this comes flying off the lathe, because it's going to be turning so fast that it's just going to fall and break apart. So this is not a good idea. I'm glad I thought of that before I actually put it on the lathe. So we'll get this punched, use this, and get it set up, okay? And then I'll catch you in the next clip. Alright, so we got it all set up. We've got the wood in the lathe. It's tight, there's no wobble. Big thing that I want to make sure is that it's tight enough to where it's not going to fly off the lathe. So it freely spins, everything's securely in place. You know, barring any... I don't know why the table all of a sudden wants to shake. That's not good. So I got my safety shield here. I'll put that on. Then we're just going to test and see what happens. I have it on low power. And then see what happens. Alright, good. You can see that there's no wobble. It's moving the way it needs to. It's in the forward position. So everything seems good. I got to crank up just a smidge more. So far, so good. See here. Doing pretty good. Alright, so first test is pretty successful, so next thing we're going to do is actually try to turn it. See what happens, if anything explodes. So let me get that all set up, and then we'll go from there. This camera is not cooperating. Crank up the power a little bit. Maybe a little faster. Banjo just a little bit. not too bad. Alright, so not too bad for my first time wood turning. Nobody died yet. I mean, you can see here, I turned it a little bit. It's just about getting these edges off. And since this was the first time I've ever turned anything, I wasn't too aggressive with it. Mostly because I've never done this before, so I don't want to die. But, I mean, you can see here where it caught and chipped. And, I mean, I've got some good, you know, these corners are coming off pretty good. And I'm worried about this. See all these cracks here. Big thing, you know, is just, I guess, getting in there and getting a little bit more aggressive with it. But, hey, so far, so good. It's early. It's the first time. So, I mean, we're going to try this again and see if we can... I guess my goal for today is maybe just to round this out and see what I can kind of, you know, just make it into like a cylinder. Basically is the goal for today. If we can get into a cylinder, we've succeeded. So, and not die. That's also important. Okay. So, let's do that and we'll try round 2. Getting a little bit better. Not too bad. It's coming out pretty good, actually. Alright, so as you can see, I think I'm having some issues. I don't know if it's the wood. It's probably not the wood. It's probably my inability to wood lathe properly. But I'm getting some pretty good results so far. You can kind of see it's coming into a little bit better, rounder shape there. Just the reason why I was like laying my tool on it, I saw in a YouTube video, if you can do this smoothly across, that means that, you know, you're getting that good round shape that you're trying to form. And that's what I'm trying to do, but I'm super fucking worried about these big cracks that I can see here. And I think this is what my my chisel is catching on, so I'm really concerned that I'm hitting these spots and then it's just doing that catching motion. But you know, so far so good. So we're gonna keep working on that and see what we get. All right, don't kill myself. So on this one, I moved the banjo a little bit more forward so I don't have to. I'll get a little bit better feel on it. So we'll see how that works out. Alright, here we go. Almost done! Holy shit, that was fucking not cool. Oh man, you can see the whole wood right here. I can see that. So this whole part just chipped off. So I don't know if I can lathe that down. It's round. It's looking really good. But damn, did that part just come fucking flying off. That was fucking intense. Whew. Alright, so we'll see if we can't do a little bit better. looks a lot fucking better. I mean, we still got this fucking piece here, though. So that seems to be the problem. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to get this all smoothed out. So let me see. Gotta get rid of that. I'll try this again. Looks a little bit better. Pretty good for first try. Alright, so you can kind of see we've done a little bit better job here. We still have this notch here that's definitely not smoothed out. I'm trying to smooth it out a little bit at a time, so I think what I'm going to do is use maybe a smaller chisel to get in there and try and get all these imperfections out. So all we're going for today is just a regular, like a smoothed out proof of concept. So this is going to be, probably hang this on a wall or some shit, just to see if we can just smooth it out. I mean, it's in a cylinder, which is what I was shooting for, but it's obviously uneven, and this probably wasn't the best piece of wood to start with. I'm pretty sure there's probably something that says you probably shouldn't use wood with imperfections, but it's looking good. It's doing what I want to do. So let me see if I can't sand this out. Not sand it out, but chisel it out, and then we'll go from there, okay? All right, smaller chisel. too bad. We've had some significant improvement. You can see here, that smaller chisel definitely wielded that down a little bit. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since you guys are probably bored of me watching me do this, I'm going to speed it up and then I'm going to show you the final product after I'm done with it.
Alright, so I pretty much got it to where what I want it to do. It's round, it still has these small little notches in it, but you know, I'm happy with it because I'm worried about getting it too skinny and it's going to fly off the lathe. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave this part alone. I mean, I meant to make everything a cylinder, but that obviously didn't work out. So what I'm going to do instead now is I'm going to use one of my other tools that I have, and I'm just going to see if I can make like rings inside of it and pray to God it doesn't pop off. So we'll do that next.
That sucks. I didn't hit record on that. Damn. I made these rings. You can see them. So here, let me show you real quick. So all I did was take the lathe. That's all I did. That's pretty much it. Look at that. Super cool. Wish you guys could have saw the whole thing, but it's pretty awesome. So you can kind of see the texture that they got there. So I'm pretty happy with this piece. I didn't die. It's pretty awesome. Look at that. Cool.
Alright, so looks like wood lathing 101 is done. This is the final piece. It's not too bad. It took me, I don't know, 30 minutes or so to make that. Probably could have used a little bit better high quality wood. Actually, I don't even know what high quality wood means. Like, I wish I had some sandpaper. I could have sanded this down a little bit, but we basically took something that was a little bit longer than this and created a piece of shit that now looks like that. It's pretty awesome. So, I mean, nothing too fancy, not bad for my first try out. You know, what I wanted it to do was get it elongated, just get used to the tools and see what we can make. Like the rings, I don't even think I recorded that part. You saw some of it, but there was a lot of it that was lost. And if I had sandpaper, I could have sanded this down, make it a little bit, you know, better. But I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna definitely hang on to this. That's a little cool little memento. We'll see where we're at in the 20 years what I can make, but that's pretty awesome. So nobody died. I didn't die. A couple of takeaways that I didn't get to talk about in the video initially was, and I'm sorry for the lighting. It's like gloom and doom out here, so I don't know what deal with that is, but safety. So I had a respirator, which is good because it fogs up my mask pretty good. And then no long sleeves, no gloves. You know, I didn't have my workshop gloves on or anything because you don't want to get, from all the YouTube videos I saw, because I'm an expert because I saw it on YouTube, you don't want to get anything caught in the lathe, and the next thing you know, you're in the emergency room. And the other thing they don't tell you about when you wood lathe, it stings the fuck out of your hands initially. And it definitely did on mine. So I'll probably be feeling that. But I mean, pretty good. Like, this is, first time ever wood lathing. Not bad for a guy that never took shop and has had no experience. But, I'm sure like in the future we'll start making more intricate things. But I think right now I just want to get down to getting used to the tools. And, I bought a set of like 8 chisels and they all kind of do different things. But the other thing they don't tell you about, well, I'm sure you could figure out on your own, is the enormous mess that it makes in the shop. But, that's to be expected. I don't mind that. So I'm just going to clean up and, that'll be the end of this video. So look, nobody died. But pretty cool. We'll do something with these bricks over here, or these blanks a little later. It's Christmas, so I can't go out and run off and get stuff that I need to do anything more complicated than that. But, you know, not bad for a first try out. So, hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next one.